And normally, I'd be joined by the gorgeous Cherie DeVille, but she's away working right now. So I brought in two of podcast royalties, ladies and gentlemen. Especially if you're a fan of the adult entertainment industry. Joining me today, I've got the gorgeous, talented Holly Randall. How are you, Holly?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you so much.
You look devilish. You look divine.
Yes.
You look like you've murdered 3 ex-husbands and you're about to move on to your 4th.
So many ex-husbands. Oh.
And sitting on her right and directly in front of me is the gorgeous, youthful exuberance of the power player that is right now in the porn industry, Mr. Ryan Pownall of Pillow Talk. How are you, dude? What's going on? Welcome.
It's an honor to be here.
It's a pleasure and honor to have you.
Everyone says Holly Randall. I'm going to Holly Randall show. I love Holly Randall, but we never really met that much.
I've brought together 2 people from the podcasting world, certainly in the adult entertainment industry, who really should have met. And
I know.
Today it's
we
happening
should be
right
friends, and you're going to make us.
I
friends.
hate this fucking guy.
She could be talking about either one of us as well, right? Who knows? So we're kicking off, ladies and gentlemen, as always. Let me just tell you a couple of things. First of all, thank you very much for the support we get on our Patreon, over on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/@Comic Cougar Convo. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Comic Cougar Convo. If you can get your episodes 24 hours earlier than anyone else, behind the scenes photos and videos, secret extra episodes, just like this one, DMs directly to myself and Cherie DeVille, shout outs on the podcast, and you can submit your questions. Shout out to the following brand new Patreon pledges: Adam Sager, Beth Crabb, Mark Richardson, G-Star, Danny GP420, Toolboy, and Khalees Brown. Thank you. I love you guys. I appreciate the support. So let's kick off with our subject matter. The subject matter on this week's episode is fear. Fear, ladies and gentlemen. We have dressed appropriately. Let's kick off with the gorgeous Holly Randall. What is your outfit? How does this represent fear for you?
So my greatest fear is death.
Oh.
And so here I am attending my own funeral,
Wow.
which I imagine that everybody will go to, of course, because everyone loves me. It'll be huge. It'll be standing room only. And I'll be like, oh, God, you guys miss me so much.
I love your outfit. I like your choice. And fear of death, your own death in particular, not other people's deaths, just your death. You're not looking forward to it.
No, I'm not looking forward to my death. I mean, other people's death too, right? You know, like my father died last year. That was like the worst experience of my life.
Right.
So that was always something that I was afraid of.
It was the worst experience of my life as well.
Yeah. I mean, going through that was really hard.
I was talking about my own dad dying, by the way, not your dad dying.
No,
I was really sad to hear about Mr. Randall. I
don't think you've ever met my father.
I haven't, no.
But yes, so you understand what I mean, like kind of going through that. That was really hard. But yes, like fear of my own death is definitely something that keeps me up at night, like thinking about, you know, non-existence. And
I want to come back to that once we've done our
of that.
costumes, because I have thoughts about mortality and fear. We did a mortality episode, and I'm not scared of death. We'll talk about that in a second. Ryan, what's your outfit? Tell me who you have come dressed as, and why does this represent fear for you?
I went as Pennywise. It's the It clown.
Of course.
And the reason I dressed as a clown is it's the only thing I'm actually scared of. When I used to go visit my grandparents, they lived in those Florida trailer park old people compounds, you know?
Right.
And there was a guy that always dressed as a clown and played with the kids. I played with him a lot.
Okay.
And he ended up being a pedophile.
Right, okay, yeah.
So I was like, where's the clown? Where's the clown? Stay the fuck away from the clown. And I later found out that he was diddling the other kids, never diddled me. Then I got in my own head. Was I not cute enough to be touched?
Right.
So, you know, I don't know.
I think you dodged a bullet there. That's probably for the best.
To be honest, it hurt my ego more than anything.
I wasn't even hot enough to get fucking diddled by this guy.
Was it the braces? I mean...
I would have to dress as a Latin teacher. If we were just dressing as our childhood pedophiles who tried to groom us, I had 2 Latin teachers at 2 separate schools try and groom me.
Male or female?
Both male, of course. They were old, dirty men who liked Latin, and young boys, I guess. So that was my experience of...
Did he like you?
I mean, they thought I was very cute. I had curtains. I was kind of a cutesy. I was pretty cute back in the day.
See, I wish I had that.
It all fell apart.
They didn't like me.
Curtains. You need the Bieber curtains. I am dressed as a member of the Illuminati. The thing I am scared of more than anything is that we maintain our presence of servitude as a human race under the evil entities that run the earth. I genuinely believe that we're pushing towards a global disaster that will either be brought about by ecological climate control issues, which I think have been furthered by these evil corporations, or we're just going to be fed to fucking space aliens one day.
You know, my dream is for the Illuminati to approach me.
Well, actually, Holly, can we
would
discuss?
love that.
I want to talk about one of Holly's dreams because she revealed to me a little bit before you came on here that you have a sexy dream, and that sexy dream is represented before you with Ryan Pownall's outfit, correct?
I'll just hold it. I don't want to fuck your hair up, but like, yeah.
That turns you on? You're into clowns for real?
So I have a weird fetish about like getting fucked by an angry clown. Yes.
Why angry as well?
Because
oh no, they found out I was a pedophile. They just stopped me hanging out with the kids. So I'm super angry.
How do you rank Pennywise on a scale of 1 to 10 for?
I mean, that's pretty fucking hot. He looks angry.
Yeah,
He's
right?
gonna fuck me good.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it's
His
gonna be
all
great.
teeth, though. Can you imagine receiving oral sex from someone with that bad first of
No,
all dental
when you
care?
get
That's
first of all, when you get fucked like that, they don't give you oral. You don't want oral.
Okay,
That's
he's not
too,
going down on
That's
you.
too intimate and sweet, and like I just want to get like
you think they finger even
destroyed.
to like warm it up a little?
No warming up.
It's
well,
straight
you can't
in.
because you've got those
straight
big
in
gloves
there.
on normally, so
Yeah,
that would make
that's
fingering
true.
super difficult.
Right.
They'd be ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's something about because I have worked in the porn industry for so long, like it's a person but so far removed from a person, right? Like it's such a non-person.
It's a caricature.
It's a caricature.
But it's also tied to childhood. Clowns for most people are tied to childhood in some way. Do you think there was a moment, a sexy clown when you were a youngster and you're just like, God, something about
I don't
this.
remember clowns being like any part of my childhood in any way, shape, or form. I think it's just this ridiculous character, and it's the twist on the fact that it's supposed to be something that brings like joy and happiness, and it's like it's not. It's this angry, creepy version of that. So there's just the way that it's all turned around.
So Holly,
like,
you've seen the movie?
yes.
Does it get you a little wet down?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I might have brought a couple pairs of panties to the theater.
Oh my
The
God!
concept of getting dicked down by such a terrifying... I mean, he's an alien, first of all. He's not even a clown.
That's true.
Technically, Pennywise. So you have an
Oh,
extraterrestrial
he is an
fetish.
alien, right?
Yeah, he's like an alien creature that took on the most fear-inducing
See,
character
Cherie,
I can
that's
come up
her
with.
fetish, right?
What, getting fucked by aliens?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, that's what
she's
she
super
says.
intense.
I could go there too. Like anything that's like just not really a person.
You're over fucking humans. That's what
Tired
it
of
is.
this
I'm
breed.
tired of people.
This is how bad it's been. The sex has been so average at this point. I just
But it's like I want to point out, not animals, right? Like I'm not into that.
Sure.
So it's like
Yeah.
a human,
a humanoid
a
presentation.
version of a human
You know
that's
what?
not
You
really
get
a
you get a
human.
really like well-groomed golden retriever.
What about, I was going to say, what about an orc? What about an orc? Because that's a fantasy
Yes,
concept.
yes.
It's humanoid in form, but it's also a little bit like a pigman.
What's that, an orc?
Yeah.
An orc, so, they've got the big tusks. And have you never seen Lord of the Rings, the Uruk-hai and
Oh,
the,
yeah, okay.
like a little goblin or something? What about a goblin man?
There's some really hot videos. Of course, you can't find them anymore. Of like Laura Croft getting like fucked by a bunch of like demon monsters.
Oh, that's hot.
That you would be into that, for instance. Wow. Damn, all right, okay. You should play Dungeons and Dragons. You could probably live out those fantasies.
You know,
in a more
Holly, I figured you were
healthy
so
manner.
in porn your whole life
Yeah.
that you don't watch it. But
I don't.
Well, as a matter of fact, you do.
Well,
You just
I
watch
do.
crazy freaky deaky
yes,
shit.
exactly. It's got to be people. It's got to be like right. It can't be anyone I
It's
know.
got to be aliens and golden retrievers and
Stop with the golden retrievers. No golden retrievers.
I'm starting to think that's your fetish. You brought it up a couple of times.
Yeah, don't project your bullshit on me.
Who's a good boy?
Let's move on from our fetishes onto our fears, because that's what we really want to
Okay.
discuss today. So,
Right.
do you have actual fears? You've dressed as one. Yours is obviously death.
Yes.
What is it about your own mortality that scares you so much?
I just can't imagine not existing. Just in a void.
So, is it the ego? Is it the ego of
I think
humanity?
that's
that
partially it.
You just want to be around.
I think it's partially
Because
it.
when people die, it's like we mourn for 3 months, and then we unless it was
Move on.
family, we really kind
you
of
move on. You move on.
And I don't want that part.
People forget you.
I like the part where people are coming to my funeral and they're talking about me, they're celebrating me, they're posting IG pics, they're arguing who knows me better.
Would you attend?
Then they just move on.
If you could run your own funeral, because people these days, it's a whole new thing for people to like have their funeral pre-death, so they can attend their own funerals. Would you attend your own funeral just to see who'd show up, who'd say what?
No, because it's too morbid.
Maybe
Can't it be a
that's your way through
celebration
your
of?
Can't
Can't you just have a celebration of life?
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
is a
that's
celebration of
technically
life,
what
though,
a
isn't it?
funeral
Being like,
is.
you're still here, I love you, we want to celebrate all the
How
things you
about
achieved.
just a party where everyone comes and just talks about how great I am?
That's just called a birthday party.
yeah.
That's
Yo,
just like,
could you imagine though that you throw your own funeral?
Oh, I will do
And you
that.
get that, you know that friend you have that you're always fucking pissed at, they're jealous
Yeah.
of you maybe, and they're like, "Hey, sorry, couldn't make it today, bro."
Yeah.
You know, this is my funeral.
You know what you do is anyone who doesn't show up to the funeral, you send them a little piece of your ashes in a little container, and you go, "This is your responsibility now." You just send a little part of yourself.
Sorry you couldn't make it.
Yeah, sorry you can make it. So I came to you.
Oh
You didn't
my
come
God,
to me.
you should do gift bags at a funeral.
Yeah, there you go.
Everybody gets a little piece of
A
your
toe,
ash.
a toe, or a foreskin. I could give out one foreskin. See as I have one. Do you have a foreskin?
No, I'm circumcised.
Okay, yeah, they
I'm
do
clean
that. They
now.
butcher you up there. Clean,
Yeah, I have a clean penis. How about you?
sparkling, washed multiple times throughout the day.
But not
I
circumcised.
have a fear of lack of hygiene, so I clean my
I
shit.
have a fear of your fucking salamander cock.
Listen, first of all, we're going off topic again. I knew this was going to happen, but foreskins are there as a protective layer to keep your penis clean and free from bacteria and infections. The reason why they have the bad negative connotation is because teenage boys don't wash their dicks enough. That's really what it is.
I believe the proper term is smegma.
So my
Disgusting.
first
That's
husband,
that's an ick for me.
my
that
first
word.
husband was British,
Right, okay.
not cut,
Not cock.
was
Clean
fine.
cock? Always a clean cock?
Totally clean,
There you
totally
go,
fine.
see?
You know, I heard that
Bro, don't try bad mouthing my British fucking phallus.
the
just 'cause you...
uncircumcised are actually cleaner because they have to do the cleaning, whereas we just hope the water gets it in the shower.
That's not, that's bullshit. Yours is rubbing against fabric
I'm
all day
saying
long.
you're
You
cleaner.
get lint. Oh, yeah, 100%.
Also,
All right,
sex
cool.
feels better for you because all day we're whipping all over the place. You get to pop out of your little turtle shell only with erections.
It's like this. It's literally
Yeah.
like one of these. Just
Yeah,
a
like,
little-
hi. Oh my God, a vagina, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
yeah.
you, Jeff.
Thank you so much.
My
for
guy's just
allowing
in
me.
jeans all day.
Yeah.
You know.
He's just
hardened.
desensitized.
Yeah.
Yours is like a
He doesn't even
like
care
a
about pussy
convict.
anymore.
You have convict
Maybe that's why I'm
penis.
not getting hard anymore, actually.
Overstimulated.
Yeah.
What's your biggest fear then? So we know death is Holly's. What's your fear?
I'm scared of. I've been taking so many dick pills with girls,
Ooh.
and I've gotten addicted to it. And then one time I was like, "Hey, let me try it." Like not, and then as a mental thing.
And it becomes a mental thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, a lot of guys in the industry, and you look. The more you talk to a lot of women in the industry. But do you interview a lot of the men or not?
Well, I talk to them all, and every
So
single.
you know about the pumps that they have? It's like dudes who overuse
Yeah.
Viagra get
No.
to a point where they have to get
The
a
needles.
pump
Needles.
Yeah, the
installed.
Caverjack
Oh,
is
that,
usually
yeah.
it.
And they literally
like
pump their own dick up.
Schmoo.
Larry Flynt had that.
Literally has a
Yeah.
balloon inside of their cock
Yeah.
Well,
to
Larry
inflate.
Flynt, he's allowed to have it
Yeah, of course.
because he's paralyzed.
yes.
But like, you know,
But there's a lot of there's a lot of male performers that have that
That's
now.
my biggest fear, actually. I'm going to change it. My fear is not the Illuminati. It's people having to put
Did
a
you know
fucking
Larry
balloon in
Flynt?
my dick.
Yeah, of course. My birth was announced in Hustler magazine.
no way.
Yeah.
I just watched the movie last week.
Ugh, it's such a good movie.
Is he fucking nuts? That guy?
Yeah, totally insane.
He was like.
Yeah,
The
he was
movie portrays him.
bipolar. Yeah. I went and saw that with my parents actually, and my parents knew him really well. And my mom said that was a actually she said it was almost like he wasn't scary enough. Like he was actually scarier in real life.
What the fuck?
He threatened my mom. Like there's like all these crazy stories about Larry Flynt. So he had Jim South come down and he like pistol whipped him, and then he threatened my mom and wanted her to come down to the mansion. And
I've changed
And
it.
all
My
that sh- all
biggest
that
fear
shit
is
in
Larry
court?
Flint, ladies
He
and
did all
gentlemen.
that?
It's Larry
he
Flint.
did all of it. Yeah.
Where
I
he
mean-
wore a diaper and all this.
Oh yeah.
All that. He's
all that stuff,
and he
yeah.
threw oranges at the fucking.
Yeah. Brought paid his fines in pennies.
Yeah. Dumped it. Mm-hmm. He's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah, he was. He's a
He
legend.
sounds like a lunatic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pillow Talk with Holly Randall. The crossover episode you never knew was going to happen. Back to fear. Where does fear come from? Where does it originate from? Is it just insecurities? Is it some unbridled energy in the universe that we can't explain?
I mean, it's what we're like built on, right? Like the two main drives in human beings is sex and fear.
And hunger, food, right? Surely, no?
Yeah,
Dominance?
well, yeah, okay. So I think maybe when I'm talking about like not necessarily something that like, you
Personal,
need, like a
ambitious
physical
drive.
thing, like that mental. So fear. I mean, we're built to have fear in us that gets us out of danger, right?
Sure, that fight or flight mentality that we have. So
Exactly.
we wake up when we hear a rustling in the bushes,
Right.
back when we were cavemen,
right.
all the way up to today when you hear Larry Flynt fucking wheeling down the hallway. You're like, we should get out of here.
But now it's like we've made our lives so easy, right? And so comfortable and so
we
soft.
don't have to be fearful that much.
But we come up with other fears. Like the human condition, we're always finding something to be afraid of.
I think we're being coerced into being fearful of one another and of every aspect of ourselves. I don't think
Oh,
it's a natural human
100%.
condition. Protection is fear of dangers that are coming towards us. But irrational fear is something that I think is is something that the Illuminati, the powers that be, are putting into us. Genuinely, like we're scared now of what? Our sexuality, scared of our genders, scared of our different pigmentation of the skin, scared of which way you fucking vote. We're fearful about so much ridiculous shit that really has no basis.
Well, it's such a great way to. It's a great way to control people.
Yes.
Right? You know, I mean, both political parties use it to their advantage.
Well, let me ask you: is it more important to be feared or respected?
Yeah, I mean,
Feared.
respected.
Feared.
Okay, why
I think.
feared?
Because respect. Okay, I'll give you an example.
Okay, yeah.
My boy producer Terry.
Okay.
That's my guy. He's been working for me for 3 years.
Okay.
He does all the production, everything behind the
right.
scenes. And then I brought him to LA with me, and then we became real close buddies.
Okay.
And then he just stopped giving a shit.
About the work side of it?
Yes, because he didn't fear me anymore.
Okay.
He respected me as a friend, but he didn't give a shit. He didn't fear me anymore because Ryan's my bestie. I'll hand that in next week.
Right.
Whatever. And then I fucking laid the whip down. Hey, what the fuck is, you know?
You need to get
Guess
here on
what?
time,
Shit's
yeah.
on time again. Fear. Larry Flynt, fear guy. Fear guy.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
You are a relentless energy. I don't think I've
Look
ever
at
been in a
Putin.
room with you this
Is
long.
Putin respected or feared?
I mean,
He keeps Russia intact.
definitely feared. Yeah,
Russia
But
is
look at how
organized.
people are rebelling against that.
Is
That's the
it
point.
though?
He's not really holding on to power in the same way that he used to.
Russia is pretty fucking Putinized.
Yeah, but not really. I mean, it used to be to this extent where the people would do whatever the fuck he said. Now they're rebelling in the streets. People are actually having protests, which the concept of protests in Russia, fucking 20 years ago even, just insane. Like, no one would ever do that.
Like, not to bring up the worst human on earth, but Hitler, I don't think was respected as much as he was feared.
Well, actually, yes. He
Fear.
used fear of others. Fear of others to coerce a population
but, like,
into agreeing with a war.
But you're
yeah.
saying that in the sense that, like, because the original question was, is it better to be respected or feared? Like, are you using Hitler? Is he like the example of like the kind of person that we should try to be?
Welcome to Pillow Talk with Hitler, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. This is where you get cancelled. This is the cancellation
I guess
right
it
here.
depends on like what your ultimate goal is, right? Like, what do you want? Do you want people to fear you so
When
they
I
do
was
your
young,
bidding, or do you want people to respect you
personal opinion, when I
so
was
they
young-
work for you because they like you and they want to help you move forward?
When I was young and had a plethora of fucking insecurities that I wore very publicly and didn't even realize it because I just wasn't happy in myself, worried about what other people think, what are other people doing. Fear. I was living fearfully, so I would have thought that I would have to enact some fear. Like, if they're scared of me, if they're fearful of me, that's my way to maintain control. As I get older and I care less about a certain shit, I think respect is ultimately, that's the long-lasting imprint. You want to be remembered like 100 years from now. People are more likely to remember someone who is deeply respected than I think deeply feared.
So Holly wants respect. I want fear.
You want some fear?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
too nice. People walk all over me. That's
mean,
why I always
you-
get cheated on.
Really?
Always.
That's one of
So
your
wait,
fears
you
as well.
think if your girlfriends feared you more, they would cheat on you less?
Yes.
Obviously not fear of violence.
100%.
Fear of what? You leaving? Fear of you being less connected to them or looking elsewhere for your romantic...
Okay, not to bring up another terrible point, but you know those relationships where it's like the druggy asshole boyfriend and the girl's always like, leave him, he's terrible.
Sure.
And he like hits her and he's a fucking dick to her and he's like, get the fuck out of my car. She never cheats on that guy. And she never even dumps him because she's scared of him. Fear.
Or she's scared of
So again, is
being
this thing that
alone.
you're aspiring towards?
No. But the nice guys finish last. All the sweetest, perfect boyfriends, the girl's out fucking
No.
Tyga
No,
dinner.
no, 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 no.
Every time
Not
they go to
true.
Vegas.
Not
Yes.
true.
No, look at the porn industry, right? Look at the industry that you work within as a podcaster.
Yeah.
Most of those super famous, super successful, the best actresses out there, they've all got partners, they're all partnered up. The nice guys, they're all fucking the nice guy. They're all married to the nice guy. They're not married to the douchebag. They're
Yeah,
not
but
with the douchebag.
they're getting agreed to cheated on. You know, they're still fucking other dudes.
Yeah,
It's
I
just-
mean, then it gets into like, what is your definition of like what makes a
Boundaries.
relationship?
Right, no
Boundaries.
cream
Is
pies.
monogamy okay?
Yeah.
Is it not
all it is.
okay?
That's one of the main
As long as
rules.
you don't
No
come
cream
in me,
pies.
that's all it is.
I mean, because my parents weren't monogamous; they were swingers, and they had like an incredibly tight and close relationship, and they were together until the day my
But
dad
they were
died.
also both allowed to play and enjoy themselves in that way, and they did it together as well.
Yes, for the most part, though. If my dad tried to go off and have sex with people without my mom, she'd get pretty pissed.
Of course. You know what it is for me? It would be more that like they had like a Netflix show together and like cuddled and watch it and like sent each other memes. That would hurt me more than dick and vag.
Yeah.
You feel
because
me?
that's an intimate,
Yeah.
like emotional
It's like,
relationship.
you
yeah.
actually like laugh at this guy, and you call him.
Yeah.
I'm super promiscuous when I'm single, and I love being the extra or the third or the fucking, you know what I mean, the stud who turns up and just gets involved. But when I'm with someone, I fucking hate the concept of them fucking other people. It's interesting. Once committed, once you have that official chat.
You know what hurts me the most is like if I'm out with my girl and there's like a rich guy in the room, and I just see my girl like going out of her way to laugh really hard at all his jokes and like make eye contact with him.
That's why you're starting your career in stand-up comedy.
I have to vomit.
That's literally what you're like. I'm going to be a stand-up comic as well.
I think you're dating the wrong people.
100%, they're all horse.
You're picking your picker is broken.
My picker is
your picker,
fucked.
Not your pecker. Your picker is broken.
Both.
You're picking the wrong people.
Yeah.
Are you aware of any fears that you've had throughout your life that you have conquered and has given your life greater evolution, meaning, presence, status? What's a fear that you've overcome?
Alcoholism. I mean, I overcame.
Me too.
Yeah.
How many years?
I will have 6 in July.
Nice. I'm a year
congrats.
behind you. 5 years behind you on that.
Oh, I beat
Yeah,
you.
but it's important. Yeah. The fear of just being fucking sober and liking yourself and having to do the work.
Having to live life like without that crutch. You know, and having
100%.
to like be able to deal with the fear of like having to sit with your feelings, and deal with like life on life's terms, and not having something to turn to make you feel better.
Yes,
like that is fucking hard.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
But like once you can get past that, it's like you can do anything.
Do you mind me asking? Did your dad have alcoholism? Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So did he die from it?
He didn't die from it, but it definitely elevated the Parkinson's. He wouldn't.
Yeah, my dad, his stomach burst at the end from his alcoholism. You know, it was like really bad. And that made me, ironically, more fearful of the concept of alcohol and what it can do to someone's life, but then also by giving that shit up, feel a million times more strong. What about you? What's a fear that you've overcome, Ryan? I can see you. You don't strike me as a fearful guy.
No, I'm not really scared of much. But to be honest, I had it really good back in Canada. I was a partner in 2 very successful nightclubs.
Okay.
I was like...
How old are you?
31.
Oh, wow, you're young.
Yeah, I was the cool kid promoter guy.
Right.
Out every night. I was an alcoholic also, actually.
Okay.
I was out every single night, promoting 7 nights a week. And my parties were good. And I was making good money.
Yeah.
But I was living the life. Big fish, small pond.
Sure.
But deep down, I was always very depressed that I wasn't pursuing a career in entertainment.
Right.
And that's why I think I was drinking so much. So
because you were fearful of trying.
I was scared to try it. Because I had it so good. I had it locked down, you know?
So what was the catalyst? What was the moment of change for you?
So COVID happened, and then Toronto was the most locked down city in the world.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, fuck. And then a year went by I still can't throw parties, like bank was going down and shit. I was like, let me try a podcast. And that's when I decided to do Pillow Talk on Zoom.
So it just took a global pandemic for you to overcome your fear.
Yes.
Nice.
And it's the best thing that ever happened to me. And I haven't been to a club since. How about that?
So next time you're getting upset about your dead grandparents who died from a cough and a cold, just remember, Ryan Pownall's okay. And so they gave their life.
COVID's
so
the best.
They gave their life so he could fly.
COVID was
and
awesome.
flow.
Wasn't it fun?
I mean, COVID
I enjoyed the
changed
beginning of it.
everybody's
That was the
life.
best.
I was pregnant during COVID, so yeah.
First 2 years were
very-
good. First 2 years were good. I did
Yeah.
a lot of working out, a lot of health stuff, grew vegetables, really was loving it. And then after 2 years, I was like, I'm done with this. And then it got tiresome.
So I got canceled in Toronto because I was throwing parties every Saturday at a new spot so the police couldn't track me. And they called me Super Spreader. And every week they would report where Super Spreader had the party, this and that.
By the way, that's your evil clown name as well now.
Yes.
That's the Super Spreader.
Yeah.
And he spreads not only illnesses, but also cheeks. That's the...
Legs.
There you go. Spreads legs,
Leg
exactly.
spreader.
So they arrested me and they threw me in jail for 2 nights.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for throwing a party during full lockdown.
And you threw a party in the jail cell. Come on, boys, shirts off. Let's do
We made
this.
it a thing. Like 30 of my friends, they marched as a joke with free Ryan t-shirts.
I love that.
Stuff like that. Free the Super Spreader. Yeah. And then as soon as I got out, I moved to Miami where it was
Do you think
open.
you would have ever got into entertainment if COVID hadn't hit and you had been kept in that lifestyle you're already in?
No, and that's what I think about a lot while I'm here. I'm like, oh my God, thank God.
That's a fear overcome.
Yeah, big
Staying
time.
in a rut. A personal rut is... Actually, that's the biggest fear for
And now I don't even drink
most
anymore.
people.
I think I was drinking because I was so sad I wasn't...
You don't drink alcohol at all now?
Well, you know.
Occasionally.
Yeah. Well, we just did a little bender in Coachella. But like barely.
Okay, and on special occasions
Once or
rather
twice a
than
month,
every
you
day of
got
the week.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
not to escape
And
problems
not to black
like
out,
we have.
you know?
Yeah,
6 drinks instead of 40. You know
Is
what I
it
mean?
possible, do you think, to remove
is that
all
like?
fears from from your life?
I don't get it.
Is it possible to remove every single fear in life, or do you think we always have to live with some fear?
I mean, you know, I look at like these spiritual gurus and I wonder, like, have you, you know, do you really like not experience insecurities,
Are you
fears?
so intact with stoicism that you don't get affected by any of the...
I think everybody does. I think it because it's a constant practice, right? You have to constantly like check yourself and constantly do work on yourself.
100%.
I do a lot of that, like step work and stuff like that, because like it's so easy to fall into fear.
100%.
It's just like it's always there. Like
so we need a little fear to actually just be a well-balanced human. Otherwise, if you live truly without fear, you'd be... Fuck it, what, Hitler? What was the other guy? Larry Flynt? Yeah. Like, you would become a monster without any fear?
Yeah. I mean, I think it keeps us in balance.
Okay,
right?
can I tell you a fear that I actually kind of have?
Yeah.
I'm so...
This is literally the perfect time for you to do that.
Okay. Say I actually like blow up one day.
Okay. What does that mean for you?
You know, like you become like
10 million followers on Instagram.
You know? And say I don't even want to say it out loud.
Okay.
But say some fucking girl who just wants money or something lies about a Me Too.
Okay.
Oh my God. That scares the shit out of me. Because I've slept with a lot of girls, you know, back in the promoting days.
Yeah.
And it's like, what if one of them is just like, you know what, let's cancel him for a payday.
Sure, which could happen. Absolutely, in this day and age.
That's scary.
But
That
also,
is
the percentage
scary.
chance of that happening versus...
I shouldn't have even said that out loud, you know?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, here's the deal. I think it's a valid concern for men to have, in the same way it's a valid concern every time a woman goes on a date with a man, like, is he going to fucking drive me down an alleyway and assault me, you know?
Yeah.
More likely for that to happen, ironically, than the
Because as important as the Me Too movement was, there was liars too.
Sure, of course.
You know, and the ones that got lied to and still canceled.
Sure.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Because that's the problem. Women can be liars too.
Yeah. And I think girls that lie about it should get the same charge he would have got if he got convicted.
I mean, because it
Well,
sets
'cause it
all
hurts
other women.
any other
it
women who
hurts.
have a real claim, yeah, of
It
course.
sets back all of the valid claims. It's like the most damaging thing you can do.
I understand what you're saying.
Yes.
Because
It's selfish.
It's
I
awful.
did a documentary about sex addiction. And, you know, assessing whether I was a sex addict or not. The documentary was for BBC. It ended up, yes, I am a sex addict. I'm not. I was in a committed relationship.
Great place to
someone
meet
else's
girls
child.
at those meetings.
Or the SLAA.
13th step.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, what did you doing afterwards? You want to sponsor each other? No, so I've slept with maybe like, I think 700 or 800 women at this point.
Oh, wow.
And when you sleep with that many people, a lot of the women I did sleep with, especially when I was
What's your
younger.
dick game like?
What, sorry?
What's your dick game like?
My dick game?
Yeah, that's right.
Like my size?
Yeah.
Like 8.5, 9 inch.
Oh!
It's a decent size.
Really?
Decent size.
Oh, shut up, decent size.
I'm 6'4". It's above average.
Would you like to wear this later?
Yes, I would. You can leave that. It's fine.
Bring this on Sunday.
So wait, do you do
The
porn?
size of your dick doesn't mean anything. No, I don't. The size of your dick doesn't mean anything, bro. I know more women who I've met who would prefer an average size penis where someone's just really good at what they do. Like, the size is less important unless you're...
It's true.
Just being good
Yeah,
at
it's
fucking
true.
is better than anything. Doesn't matter what size your cock is. But
Says you.
I absolutely, over the course of my life...
Says
you're
the
right.
guy with a 9-inch dick.
You know,
It doesn't matter.
You know, it doesn't really matter about the size. But when you sleep with that many people, especially if I don't know what your dating history was like. I was a kid with daddy issues, alcoholism, and tattoos, right? So I fucked a lot of women with daddy issues, tattoos, and alcoholism, right? So there's going to be a few crazy people and unbalanced people amongst that, mentally unhealthy people. And yeah, I think about the same thing. But you just have to hope that, you know, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, right.
That's a weird fear.
Yeah, because it's just so stupid.
It's a weird fear because it's irrational, but at the same point, it's very possible.
Yeah, it's happened a bunch. Yeah.
I'm glad.
What about you? Have you fucked any
glad I'm not a
crazy
man.
people you're fearful of that would come back to ruin your life? Or
No. I did have this one guy who got real. I never fucked him.
Obsessive?
He was an. I don't even want to say his name because
Yeah, please don't.
Fucking, he comes back to haunt me. But he did try to put out this rumor that I raped somebody, which.
Okay, first of all, women raping men.
Well, and no one.
non-existent.
That's what I'm.
Whoa,
We're
hang on,
all down.
dude.
But what I'm saying is, it got no traction because first of all, everyone knew he was insane.
Right.
Like, it was well known.
Sure.
And yeah, so and I just
also, I've seen you in an MMA cage. There's no way you're pinning someone down.
Okay,
It's impossible.
If I'm getting raped and I'm not into it, I probably won't be hard.
That's not true, dude. I did a TV show.
Don't look at me. I don't have a dick. I don't know.
One of my earliest
What are
TV
you gonna do? You're
shows.
gonna tie me down and be like, I'm gonna get you hard.
It doesn't work like that.
No.
This is
Stay down, Dick.
The shades of grey, man. One of my earliest TV shows, the producer of the show, female, who hired me, exec producer, on the second night, it was a music festival I was hosting for BBC again. On the second night, we drank together. We'd been flirting. I knew there was energy there. And consensual flirting. Second night, we got really shit-faced drunk in the bar, the hotel we were staying at, off-site. She goes, why don't we go to your room, have a little nightcap? We go to my room, and I'm like, listen, I'm super fucked up. I've got to work tomorrow and be on camera. You don't. So I just want to rest. I'm too drunk. I don't want to do anything. Let's wait until after the shoot. She said, do you mind if I just stay and cuddle? I was like, yeah, fine, cool.
Classic line.
We lay, so we lay. I pass out. I'm blackout. I pass out. I wake up, and she's pulled my pants down, and she's on top of me. Now, you can get hard and stimulated, even in a slightly half awake stage.
Well, how drunk were you to not wake up from sex?
Pretty fucking drunk. Pretty drunk. And like, if you're kind of in a blackout state, your body can do shit without. You can get an erection because you need to piss.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So a little bit of stimulation. She's like, pull my pants down.
And let me guess, you fucked her right back.
I completely woke up, like, completely came to of what was going on, and sort of was like, oh, I'm fucking now. I didn't remember starting this. I don't think this was. And then I was just like, she's attractive. I'm just
there
gonna
you
see
go.
through. And here's the
Point
reason,
proven.
because I didn't feel fear of her physically. There was no physical fear, but upon reflection, what she did was absolutely sexually assault me.
Let me ask you this: if she was ugly, different story.
I would have. Well, but can I tell you what the knock-on fear from that is? If I had done what I knew physically I could do as a man, being physically stronger than this particular woman, is I could have thrown her off and gone, what the fuck are you doing? Or like, I could have kicked off about it. But then my fear was, what would she tell as a story after that? She's going to be, well, maybe I need to protect myself or get ahead of the game here. I've assaulted him.
Oh, she might have turned it around on you.
Potentially. She never did. Obviously, nothing ever happened. I didn't tell anyone about this until this podcast. But it's strange, right?
My friend in Toronto a month ago, there's this big Toronto gossip story going around that he passed out at an after party and he woke up to a gay guy sucking his soft dick.
Right.
And that's the big one. He's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Is that rape? Kinda.
I mean,
sexual assault,
it is.
yeah,
Not kind of, it is.
It is, yeah. So
I mean, I've woken up the next morning having slept with a guy, not remembering it at all, but I just figured I probably initiated it because I'm pretty aggressive when I'm drunk.
Yeah. He
So
was dressed as a clown.
yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just
He pulled up in a tiny car to pick me up from my date. I had to sit like this all the way there.
And about 12 of his friends rolled out.
Yeah. As each one came, it was fucking glorious. Cirque du Soleil. Does Cirque du Soleil make you fucking cream? Does that you ever slide off your seat?
They have to be angry. That's the whole thing. They cannot be happy clowns.
Get them at the end of their career.
Angry
They're normally
clowns.
generally angry by that.
Yes, this kind of face.
This was one of the questions actually later on in the sheet was, do you find fear a turn on in any ways, and if so, what? We know what yours is. Do you have any fears that turn you on? Have you ever been aroused by something that scared you? I'll let you think about it for a second.
Okay.
Mine is skydiving. I find skydiving super fucking arousing. I'm into it. It's always been a dude that I've done tandem with, so fortunately he's behind me. Otherwise he'd feel a little half chub just pressing in his back as I'm holding on to him. But yeah, no, I get super aroused. I get horny from adventurous experiences. My favorite fucking is hiking to the top of a mountain with a woman, and at the top of the mountain be like, someone could come up the trail, but let's fuck at the top of this mountain. Like that's
you're a little
turn
freak,
off for me.
Jeff?
I just like sex in outdoors, in nature, and also the concept of being caught. Could get caught.
Yeah.
That's a big turn on me.
Oh,
That
it's
fear
like
is a big turn on me.
Brazzers scene.
Yeah.
I really like fucking in nightclub bathrooms.
What's your turn on though? Is there a fear of turn on? Oh, I guess so.
Like in the fucking public
other men's urine
and
feces.
it's too
probably
cheap if it's in a single stall.
Okay.
Like in the public ones, and it's like you're next to people, they're talking, they're peeing, they're doing coke, and you're just like, shh, quiet.
And the fucking walls are.
So it's like the secrecy of the whole thing.
I probably fucked more like that when I was promoting in Toronto than I did in my bed.
You like fearful fucking.
I like that.
Damn,
So
we've
I'm
got
kinda
a lot of
with you on that.
similarities, bro. We'll talk more about that at some point. That's crazy. Yeah. And yours is just straight up clowns. Any other fears that get you turned on or aroused?
I don't think so.
Never seen a shark and just thought.
Oh, I'll tell you this. What is up with everyone cream pieing each other without birth control? I think everyone's fucking nuts. There's 8 billion people on Earth as proof that children are born from semen hitting the egg.
It's an old-fashioned way to do it, but most people do. Yeah.
I have pulled out every time my entire life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because guess what? I was born from a cream pie.
But do you? What if you?
Were you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but an intentional one?
Yes.
You've never had. You never.
I thought you meant an accidental.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know. Who knows?
We should ask your mum and dad right now. Give them a call. If you knew that your partner was on birth control, had an IED or whatever, would you?
The girls lie. They lie.
So you just never been with
Oh, I
someone
have
you
a
trust
thing
enough.
up there. Yeah, right.
Bro, you are so untrusting.
What,
Who hurt you?
what would you do if someone got pregnant?
Meet at the top of the stairs, have a little chit chat.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Do you want kids?
Yeah, in like 10 years. You know?
Okay, fair enough.
Speaking of kids, is there anything you were fearful as a child that as an adult now you're not anymore?
Oh, I'm scared that my kid is going to be mentally handicapped and punish me for all of my sins.
A different answer to a completely different question, but
I would probably take it to like a field when it can run and be like, you're free now.
You're free.
Yeah.
So you're like Sparta. You're like Leonidas. You'd throw him in a pit.
Yeah.
That's what you're concerned
Well,
about.
no, just like go run along now. Like you're free now.
Holy shit. I was scared of the dark. That was my thing as a child, which now I'm not scared of the dark at all. I embrace the fear. I Batmaned it. You know, anything that I was scared of, I try and run towards. Jumping out of planes, dicing with my own death. Oh, by the way, we talked about death earlier, and you said you were scared of your own death, right? This is a thing. Have you ever done mushrooms? You ever taken psilocybin? Large dose?
Yes.
Very therapeutic trip?
I went to college.
No, I mean like 7 grams, tripping internally, laying down.
That's my most, actually, is 7.
Yeah, that's what I do when I go away. That's my trip.
Yeah.
After that, and facing my own mortality and accepting my own fleeting state of existence, we're just fucking pieces of dust on an endless ball of dust that's amongst a plethora of fucking endless pieces of dust across an entire cosmos. We're nothing. We're nothing. We're inconsequential.
That's exactly what my father said. So before my dad died, I sat down with him and I asked him if he was afraid of dying.
Right.
Because I knew he was going to die. And I needed to know that, like, he was okay with it. Because if he was going to be okay with it, I was going to feel okay with it.
What did he say to you?
And he said, I'm okay with it. Like, we're all just pieces of dust and we go back into the earth and we're all just a blip in, like, the, timeline of the universe.
Was your dad an atheist?
Yes.
Me too. Rock and roll.
And he was comfortable with that.
You are too?
I mean, yeah, agnostic. Like,
I don't even think like the religion side, because a concept of belief in the gods.
Definitely not religious.
I like how your nose is getting less and less red as time goes on, with all the gestures. Yeah. Your mood is just looks like.
I'm like atheism.
Now it just looks like a big zit on his nose.
Oh really?
No, it doesn't look as it. Don't do that. You're gonna get him all frustrated and smart.
We're talking about fear.
I've got a pencil. You can read. You can top up at any time. We've got you covered. I truly believe that. I accepted more people who believe in God once facing the fear of my own death and existence and understanding my place within everything. Because we're just energy. We're a tiny piece of energy. This is a physical vessel. The ego is not you. The voice in your head is not you. The subconscious and the conscious are not you. You're the everything behind that. You're like 5 stages back. So once you understand that, go, well, my energy is part of everything and is part of nothing. And it will experience everything and experience nothing. That's the process of becoming.
But then what are you if you're not your own ego, if you're not your own thoughts, if you're not like your soul? Like, what are you? You are the one
energy of all things. And that's why 7 grams of mushrooms, like I have existed in a state of nirvana where I'm reconnected to the one energy of all things. And being there was the most joyful and pleasant and calming and wonderful place to be, that I'm not scared of dying. Also, I have tried to commit suicide once and also held a gun against my head, loaded gun, about 1.5 years ago. So I've faced in 2 very real ways. Oh, and I got kicked in the head until I was almost dead by 2 guys in Lithuania. And I did have my heart stop at a music festival because of drugs one year. So I technically have died
just
with
watch
death.
a movie or something.
Yeah, fuck Netflix
Have you
and
seen
chill.
Bring It
I'm
On?
like music festival and die. That's my love language.
Bro.
But after all those experiences, it gives you a reference point of going, I've lived 12 lives already. You've lived 12 lives already. You've lived 12 lives. I already know we're interesting enough people to have had some pretty fucking exceptional, sad and happy moments throughout life. Great extremes, right? Entertainment people, always great extremes. Once you hit that place, death, I'm not scared of it in any way, shape or form. I'm surprised that you are.
Oh yeah, no,
because
fuck
I feel
that
like
shit.
you've lived more than most
It's
people
the
live.
scariest thing in the world. I'm with you.
Yeah, it's like
It's insane.
It's just not.
It's because we believe in the big sleep, though.
That's a question. Good question. Are you fearful there's nothing beyond
Yes.
life?
Oh yeah, well I really don't fucking. I hope all these Catholic people are correct. You know?
Do you though?
Wouldn't it be great? Heaven
'Cause
sounds
are you
awesome.
Sure, are you sure you're going to heaven?
Heaven is just.
Oh yeah, they have that hell thing they talk about too, don't they?
Yeah, there's a lot
yeah.
of, like,
Oh, yeah, that
there's
place.
a lot of shit,
Yeah.
the rules that I feel like
Yeah.
maybe haven't
You want to kill your
followed.
fucking unborn, mentally ill children. You want to like.
You know what? One of the commandments was to not fuck before marriage. Okay.
Okay.
If we're playing by the actual rules, we're not,
Yeah.
no one's going to fucking heaven.
It doesn't count if it's anal, Ryan. It's okay.
So Liam will be fine.
Liam's going to be just fine. He's going straight to heaven. You're going to look cute.
You
with
know
a pair
what?
of
By the
wings,
way, let me
isn't
tell
it?
you this.
Yeah.
Ryan Reed is grooming Liam with her and her boyfriend. They want to do that. Liam fucks Ryan, and Ryan's boyfriend, what's his name?
No.
Alex?
Yes.
Fucks Liam in the ass. And they have a threesome and takes his vaginal girl virginity.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that crazy?
I
And they've been
mean-
taking him on spa dates and they're taking him to dinner. They're actually
Damn.
grooming him.
Damn.
It's real.
Is it working?
I would say so.
He's like, yeah, it's going to
I'll
work
give it
for
a
him.
shot.
Wouldn't that be a cool virginity, Ryan Reed?
I mean, that's pretty.
It's
It's hard to
legendary.
beat. It's hard to beat that. Yeah.
I love that today's episode is me trying to corral two podcasters from the porn world into talking about the subject matter. So, on that subject, World War III, universal ecological or global ecological disaster, or social irrelevancy. What are you most scared of out of those three?
Like I fall off a cliff kind of thing?
Social irrelevancy means that no one gives a fuck about you anymore, Ryan. You no followers, no career, no.
So fine with that, to be honest.
You're okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I always tell myself in a few years I will be on a beach somewhere with a fake name with a long beard.
No one knows who we are. Even if you're the most
Castaway vibes.
prolific,
I don't
you could be
mind.
the most successful, talented, and famous, in whatever form that means, person in the world. And within 50 years, no one will know who the fuck you are. People who are most famous pop culture characters from 20 years ago, kids don't know who they are today or don't
Yeah.
care. You know?
Don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So World War III or ecological disaster, which one of those two are you most scared of?
Oh, well, neither. You know?
You just don't think because
World
World
War
War III might happen real soon.
As a Canadian, I've never cared about war.
Because you know you can go back up to Canada
Yeah,
and it's
we're
going to be
fine.
safe
No
up
one
there.
fucks with us. We're good. It's always...
There's a lot of military
It's always
bases
been
up
okay.
there. A lot of
Like, I
military-
remember 9/11, we went on lockdown in our school, and we were like, okay. Yeah, they're going to come to Ottawa, Canada. That's Bin Laden's plan.
Fair, fair.
There's also like nuclear fallout, though, and I mean,
Yeah, man.
There's
I mean,
a lot
like,
of.
I'm kind of excited about that. I
That's the thing is like
post-apocalyptic
World War
survival.
III can like lead to ecological disaster, right?
100%.
Like they can both be the same thing.
Well, we're already on the path of ecological disaster.
Yes.
That's already happening. Whether
Right.
it happens during
But it
our
can be
lifetime
brought along
or
faster.
in another 5,000 years,
Yeah.
we don't really know. But World War III, ecological disaster, or social irrelevancy.
Ecological disaster.
Yeah.
Though I do try to remind myself, and I was thinking this the other day. Do you remember when like there was holes in the ozone layer and we were freaking out about that?
Yes, yes.
And everyone had to stop using aerosol sprays.
Yes.
I guess that like healed itself.
Yeah, no, there's still holes. They're just bigger now. I don't think it was ever the fucking deodorant. It was never. It was not 12-year-old boys using.
Are you sure,
Axe
though?
body spray. That
Are
did
you
it.
sure? Someone
It
needs to
was
look
more
this
these
up.
giant factories in China.
So like
pumping out
we're not
thousands
talking
of-
about that because that was a big thing. The world was going to collapse. Now we don't care about that.
I get what you're saying. Over a course of even generation to generation, there can be massive, like, the world's ending because of this thing, and then we realise 20 years later, okay, it wasn't quite as... maybe we didn't need to live so fearfully of
Right.
that thing
Right.
during our lifetime. Carlin, I like George Carlin for that reason. He said that in comedy. He's like, I used to care about humans, and I realized they're not really worth caring about. There's too many shit ones, and really we're on a path of destruction anyway. So I just want to sit back and laugh at it and watch it. Rather than living fearfully of how I can change it every day. The hero complex. Once you lose the hero complex.
Yeah.
But ecological disaster, I agree with you. I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck about social relevancy because I know that comes and goes in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
World War III, we live in California. We're all dead. If they press buttons on nukes.
Oh, you think Cali's getting it?
Bro, there's so many military bases all up and down the coastline, the west coastline.
Oh, so we're getting that work.
We are fucking done.
Oh.
We were done, yeah. You'll see the mushroom clouds. You'll have time to, maybe get a quickie in. With
You think we're
someone
getting
you love.
Oppenheimered?
We potentially could happen. No. I mean, right now, what's going on in the Middle East right now is pushing us towards that in some respects.
You know, I'll tell you something. I watch no news. I listen to nothing.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
either.
I live a happy little fake life
I wish
in
I
a
could
little
live like
bubble. I don't know anything.
Ever since I had a kid, I stopped watching the news because it just like
Isn't life better?
The fear and the anxiety that it brings, like it's just not worth it. And it like, and now that I think about this other person who now has to, you know, she's gonna live another 80 years or whatever. You know what I mean?
100, hopefully. Maybe 130 with modern day science.
I'm just like, I don't want to know like how bleak her future might be.
You might too. You might just be a head in a jar with a little cybertronic body, little AI chip that fucking keeps your personality around. And
like, you know what people say?
Mummy loves you. You know, you could.
People say, I don't want kids. I don't want to bring a child into this terrible world. I'm like, this world's great. What are you talking about?
Oh my God, your world is great.
Yeah, I'm like, what
so
terrible world.
I thought the same thing, and I had a friend that I talked to about that who just had a kid, and she said, I understand what you're saying. She said, but if you really want a child, she's like, what if your kid is the one that like saves the world?
Oh, that's
you know
nice.
what I mean? And I was like,
what's his Thingy O'Connor from fucking Terminator? we have to travel back in time to save your child.
Yes,
she's the one who leads the rebellion.
Aren't you happy you're
against
here?
them.
What if your mom and dad were like, Holly can skip this one out. Right?
We don't need that. It's all right. She doesn't.
Yeah, she doesn't need this shitty world. And you're like, wait.
yeah, no, I mean,
I'm Holly Randall, bro. I think
also like we don't know what the future may bring. I try to live in a place of positivity. You know, I mean, you're talking about this impending World War III, which is definitely like, I know that that's a possibility, but like I also think back about these past, like the Cuban Missile Crisis. Like everybody was convinced that we were going to be bombed. You know, so there's just like all these things come in cycles, right? And sometimes they end up okay. And I want to live in that world where it's going to end up okay.
You have a positive outlook.
Yeah.
All right.
Because if I live in that world, like, and what am I going to do? You know what I mean?
I feel you.
Like, what am I personally going to do to like not have this happen?
I'd love to see you in a post-apocalyptic fucking armor out there leading the charge. That'd be super hot. That's my fetish. Yours is getting fucked by an angry clown. Mine is just like a strong survivor, post-apocalyptic survivor woman. Just like, yes, she's like, she fucks. Yes, she's like able to be intimate and kind and connected, and she could even be a mother if she wants to repopulate. But also, she will jam the butt of a fucking AR in your throat and blow your brains out if you try and scale the walls of our compound. That's the turn on for me.
Yeah.
Do you remember the last time, before we go into questions from our viewers, do you remember the last time you were truly fearful, like really scared? What was the last thing or moment where you were really like, holy fucking shit, I'm terrified? What was it and what caused it?
Okay. It was coming back to LA for AVN.
I thought you were going to say coming in a woman and finding out she was pregnant.
From Canada.
That is your...
No, because I pull and pray.
That's it.
Pull, pray. Or I try to push through all the important stuff and blow my load in her.
Out the back.
In her esophagus. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
That's your dick. That's your dick. I don't have the pleasure.
I don't have to try.
Yeah.
Go on. What's your
You
last...
probably cut the IUD off,
Oh
right?
my God.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get laid again after this, Ryan. What was your last
I feel like
terrifying?
he's going to get so many emails.
What was your last
So
terrifying?
when I left, because I'm still Canadian.
Okay.
When I left the U.S., I pre-taped 4 months of episodes knowing I'd be away for 4 months.
Right.
But coming back in, it's a roll of the dice.
So that's what you were scared about. Just,
I had a
can
real
I be
panic
back in
attack in the airport where I thought I was having a heart attack, and I laid down on the floor, like I had a real panic attack.
Oh wow!
I started crying.
First time you've ever had a panic attack?
Yeah, and I've never. I'm not a crier. I
Okay.
think I'm a sociopath or something.
Yeah.
I don't cry. And I started.
Only after
I started
sex.
crying. Yeah. Yeah.
Just that's normal, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then there was like 5 angry men doing the border, and then this one beautiful, sweet little angel.
Okay.
And I was like, if
What
I
was
get
his name?
if I get her, if I get her, I'm going to California.
Okay.
If I get any of these men,
You're fucked.
yeah,
You're done.
I get baby girl.
Amazing.
I say, oh, thank God I got you. You're so beautiful. I'm scared of those guys. And she goes, what scares you about them? I was in.
And she stamps your
Boom,
thing.
didn't even
She
ask
wasn't
me a
looking at
question, and then I made it to AVN, and I'm still here.
Isn't that so scary how like one person can make such an incredibly like important
Yes.
decision?
Especially if they're having a
Yes.
bad day. What if they're having a
Yeah.
bad day?
Yeah.
Well, you remind them of an ex-partner or
Yeah.
something like that. You know what I mean?
Fact.
That's crazy.
Fuck this guy. He's
Yeah.
not getting in. What about you, Holly? What's your last time of being petrified, like truly scared?
Okay, I mean, you know, I'm here to bring down the podcast again. When my dad fell and hit his head, and you know, his last words to me, I was the last person he saw, and then he went unconscious, and I was afraid he was never going to wake up again, and he did not.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, join us again. No,
Yeah.
imagine if I just
This is a
ended
comedy
it on that.
podcast.
You want to hear
No,
a joke
It's.
to cheer you up?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
I want to hear this joke.
Okay,
Sure.
so
Yes.
I used to fuck these 2 twins,
Okay.
right?
Is this a joke or is this a personal anecdote?
It's both.
Okay.
Yeah. And people used to ask me how I'd tell them apart. And I said, well, it's easy. You know, Kelly, she'd paint her nails pink, and Tom had a dick.
Hey.
And we're back. Holly's back.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Thank you for sharing that. That is scary. The concept of, and I'm going to go into questions. The concept of not being able to save, if I'm correct in empathizing here, same with my dad. The concept of not being able to save someone who you love so fucking much and realizing that you have no control over being able to keep that person around.
Yeah.
That's terrifying no matter what age you are. And I'm sure, I hope you don't have to face that experience for many years.
But
and I hope your parents are in good health. But it really does. There's this moment where you just go, fuck, they won't be here anymore. This person who's like so integral to me being here.
I feel like calling my dad right now.
You should call your mum directly after this and ask if you were an intentional cream pie or an unintentional. Just say that's.
Should I call him right now?
Yeah.
But it's amazing. Like you go through that experience, right? I remember actually having my before my dad died, I had Jules Blue on my podcast, and then a little while later, Kimmy Granger, and they both talked about the death of their parents. And I remember like crying and being like, how could I possibly live through that? Like that was my greatest fear. And then I did. And it's like, you know what? We all we get through it.
And you do become stronger because of it. You become more used to the concept of death.
Yeah.
Here we go. Is that Mum?
Hey, Mama.
Hi.
Hey, Mum.
Oh, we're in the middle of filming a podcast right now. This is
a very quick question.
This is Jeff.
Hi there. What's your mum's name?
And this is Holly.
Hi.
What's your mum's name?
Monique.
Monique.
Yeah.
Monique, pleasure to meet you. How are you? You look gorgeous, by the way. I can see where Ryan gets his handsome looks from. You like, oh, there you go, Dad's in as well. I'm glad both Mum and Dad are both in the call, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Dad, Mum, very quick question. We've been discussing some sexual things on this podcast. Not all sexual stuff. We've been talking about
You know
fear.
what? They're not crazy like me. They probably won't want to answer that.
Well, the one question that came up, and Ryan was wondering,
I just called to say I love them.
Was Ryan an intentional pregnancy or not? Or was Dad's pull-out game just a little weak on that particular day? They're laughing. That's a good sign. They're laughing. They're laughing. Thank goodness. Was he an intentional, or was he just a wonderful miracle that came out of nowhere?
Well, we know Ryan's a miracle. We know that.
That means we pull-out game, bro.
I think it was a drunk night at Sir Winston Churchill pub.
Is that your local? Is it?
It wasn't even that exciting, actually, but.
Unbelievable. It was just a lazy night at home. Netflix and chill. That's what it was.
I like how they haven't answered the question yet.
Yeah, you still haven't answered the question. Was he a planned thing, or was he?
Well, yes.
Yes, he was planned.
Okay.
Yes, you were planned.
Imagine this is how I find out that was a mistake.
All right.
But you know, the plans just don't always work out.
That's perfect. Thank you, guys. I love you. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, Mom and Dad, I love you.
That
Love you,
is
bye.
hilarious. Amazing. What a non-committal way to get out of it. All right, we're going to blitz through a few of these questions. We've probably got about 5 minutes left. So, viewer questions. Romeo12 asks, why do some fears lead people to become paranoid whilst other people, like Evel Knievel, run towards them? Why do you think some people run towards their fears?
I think level of confidence, right? Like whether or not you believe you can overcome them versus whether or not you feel like they're going to take you over.
I want to be I want to biohack my brain in every way to the point where I can control every reaction, have emotional regulation through the fucking wazoo, stoicism. So for me, it's like I run towards fear because I don't want to be fearful of anything.
Right, but see, that's you. That's why you conquer your fears,
Sure.
because you have that feeling, you have that drive.
A drive towards it, yeah.
Right.
Some people don't, some people do, some people don't.
You know, my biggest fear actually was stand-up.
Oh, really? And you've started
Same.
you've already done your first few shows, right?
That was the scariest. I have so much respect now for comedians. Holy fuck.
Prior to that, you fucking hated us. You thought we were all jokes.
I thought you guys aren't even that funny.
Yeah, it's true.
It's hard up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's fucking hard up
wait
there.
until you got to do an hour. Wait until you got to do an hour, and wait until there's drunk people heckling, and wait until the group of white girls are on
I
the
can't
rose.
believe
And they're
how
like,
scary it is up there.
Oh, it's terrifying. I could never do stand-up.
Oh my
I did
God.
stand-up once at like camp when I was 10, and I bombed.
we're gonna have to put
Never
together a show.
again.
We're gonna have to put together a show.
You want to hear my go-to joke? It's a quick one.
Go. Let me hear
Okay.
it.
I'm going back to buying pussy because free pussy costs too much.
I like that. That's a clever joke.
Thank you.
It works as a tweet as well.
Right.
Added bonus. You can put that as an Instagram quote. You might get less girls turning up to the parties though if you start making jokes like that. You're gonna get that fucking Matt Rife crowd. Username is Jim asks, is it okay to not watch horror movies? I don't like horror movies. I need someone to hold me. Do you like horror movies?
Only recently now.
Okay.
But every time that it would get dark, I couldn't pee in the middle of the night. I'd hold it. Yeah, right?
I get super terrified.
I think they're
of
in the
horror
shower
movies.
or something. I don't know.
And then I was in a relationship for 5 years with a woman who loved them, and now I see them as the comedy. They're funny. Horror movies are really funny when you break down the tropes. You know?
Seen Smile? I just watched that recently. It fucked me up. This one?
Fucking,
where everyone just goes, yeah.
I love.
Oh no, I have seen it. I have seen this one.
Love horror movies. They're like my favorite things to watch. Absolutely love them.
Have you seen X?
X? I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't think so. I'm gonna.
it's
go
a
see
porn horror movie where they're filming porn. Who's in it, Liam? Legends.
Any clowns?
Watch it.
Any angry clowns?
Any angry clowns?
So Talk to Me, Australian movie, fucking terrifying.
That fucked you up.
Oh, it's so and horror movies like never get to me.
So it's okay to get a little cuddle if you are scared, but also you're weak, Jim, is what they're saying. Phantom asks, what are you most fearful of, and how have you attempted to overcome that fear and potentially conquer it? I mean, we kind of covered that a little bit.
Yeah, we answered that.
I think we answered that one already. Tallboy asks, what are your feelings on exposure therapy to overcome fears and phobias? So if you're scared of snakes, they throw you in a fucking room with lots of snakes, or either slowly or rapidly just push you into the thing you're terrified of to show this won't kill you. Do you think that's good, or do you think that's a fucked up way to approach?
I think it's good.
Therapy.
Yeah, I think that's great.
I think it probably depends on the person.
So you need to be thrown into a room with 100 women ready to fuck, and there's no blue pills inside.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear.
Yeah.
And none of them are on birth control. And you have to creep by every single one.
Yeah, you won't be able to get it up anyways. So,
What about you? What would be something that you potentially
Skydiving. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Nope.
what about bungee jumping?
Nope.
Bungee jumping is more scary than
More scary, I
skydiving.
did both.
100%.
I agree.
1,000 times.
I can go
Because you have to
mine.
jump.
I did 16,500 feet recently in New Zealand, like a few months ago, and that was, I felt like a bird. So you're strapped to someone, you hit terminal velocity immediately. But in New Zealand, I also did the Glen Nevis, which is the second largest bungee in the world, 134 meters. It's on a cable car. You go out on a cable car in between two mountain ranges, and it's like down into a basically dry riverbed, pretty much. It's got a trickle down there, and it's a 7-second free fall, and you have to throw yourself off, and it feels wrong. My whole body was going, you're killing yourself. Stop it. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yes.
So I agree. Yeah. Khalees Brown asks, are people who say they fear nothing liars or just fucking lunatics?
Liars.
Both.
Potentially both.
Potentially both.
Sociopaths, potentially.
Yeah.
Although even they're scared of stuff. They're scared of getting caught.
Everyone's scared of something.
Even actual...
I don't know if scared of getting caught or just like a desire not to.
You know, every bully
what I
is
mean?
scared of a bigger
Yeah, you're
bully.
right. They don't have human emotions generally, most sociopaths, do they?
So like,
they don't have...
they don't want to get caught because it would be inconvenient to
Then they wouldn't
their
be able
plans.
to eat human beings anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't think they fear it.
You're right. All right. So you're either a sociopath or you're a liar. So when I get to a stage where I'm like, I truly fear nothing, which I kind of claimed a little bit earlier in this podcast, I'm either a sociopath or a liar. I'm a liar.
You're a sociopath.
Danny GP. Danny GP420, he doesn't know now, I might eat him after the podcast. Danny GP420 asks, and it's our final one, are Holly and Ryan fearful of any particular porn scenarios? If so, which ones? Is there anything sexually that terrifies you, like a sexual scenario or a porn scene that you would just, no, I can't do that, that would scare me too much?
Oh, you mean...
What's your angry clown fucking you in a scene? What would be presented to you as a porn scenario that would make you go, oh, I'm too scared of that, that's terrifying?
Oh, anything like in public.
Okay.
Like, no fucking way.
That scares you?
Yeah, because I didn't want to get arrested.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's the whole, like, shooting without permits thing, which is one thing, but, like, you know, some people go and shoot, like, public sex. It's like, fuck that.
Yeah.
OnlyFans banned it now, though.
Yeah, it makes me way too nervous.
On, like, buses and things like that, or out in public.
Even outside, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's a scenario that you're terrified of sexually?
Okay. Spit and sex are not friends. And I don't know why it's become this fucking spit in my mouth. It's this fucking trend.
Have you seen that Evil Angel video where the girl's like gagging on the cock and like her saliva is like dripping? She has to hold this like carafe.
Stop it.
It's
and
like
then
a
the
bungee
saliva
cord. It's like a little
drips,
bit like a bungee cord,
and
isn't
so
it?
it drips in there, and then at the end she has to drink all of her spit.
What's worse is someone else drinking her spit after she's been.
Yeah.
When girls spit that in each other's mouths.
My favorite was the like cooking with cum. Video. Have you seen that one?
No.
I think it might have been like a Jim Powers one. It's an old one.
What do you watch, Holly?
I've been in this industry a long time. I've seen everything.
Fucked by an angry clown. Right? Are you surprised?
That's how long I've been in the industry.
Yeah.
So like, yeah,
Cooking with cum.
this girl like collects all this cum from a gangbang, and then she like makes eggs with it.
And eats it?
Yeah.
That's
Amazing.
insane.
Amazing.
That's
Cooking with
insane.
cum.
Amazing. Can't wait to meet her. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been beautiful. We've had two amazing guests on today, Ryan Pownall and Holly Randall. Make sure you check out both of their podcasts. They really are podcast royalty, the two of them. Please plug your podcast. Tell us where we can find it and where to find you on social media as well.
Holly Randall Unfiltered. You can find me on YouTube at Holly Randall Unfiltered, on Instagram and Twitter at Holly Randall. Just go to hollylinks.com for all of my socials.
And also, if you like spicy content, go over to OF, go to OnlyFans and check out Holly Randall's content on there as well. You got your own OF page.
I do have my only OF, but I will say I do not show my asshole, so stop asking.
What do? You show the girls?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. These are fine. They're nice.
Wow, we got plans tonight, Liam.
Ryan Pownall, tell us about your amazing podcast, Pillow Talk. Where can we find it? Where can we find you on social media? Anything else you want to plug?
It's Ryan Pownall. You got to put the ITS. So I'm not saying it's, comma, this. It's Ryan Pownall. My miserable life.
On all
People can't find me because they think I'm saying it's this, but
it's true actually. If I search you and I just go
Ryan,
Ryan,
it doesn't pop up.
It's Ryan Pownall is
and
your
we're always not
Instagram.
recommended shadow ban. Zucky hates us.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
I know
me
that
too.
life.
Fuck you,
Hates all of us.
Zucky.
I got shadow banned since I've been doing the content with Cherie as well now, so
Of
nothing
course.
gets found.
Yeah,
Yeah.
YouTube
And
demonetized
Pillow
us.
Talk is available on all platforms, good platforms, but also on RFTV. Do you do something special with them or? with one of the platforms?
we're on OFTV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same.
Cool. Make sure you find them
I
on
don't
there.
know
Go
why.
and support them. Become a member of their communities as well if you're not already. Thank you very much for joining us. This has been Fear, and I'm going to go back to planning out the doom of the rest of the globe. See you later. Bye-bye.